Hi everybody, this is Captain Al speaking with a announcement for Patreon members only. I'll be doing a live stream on this probably in the next couple of weeks or so. But this is just to tell the Patreon members what the plan is going forward with the channel and with the FTD-PC FS course because there are some changes. So I'll go through this kind of quick. Most of you have seen this before, so I'm not going to belabor this point. This is who I am. This is what I do now, my full-time business. This hasn't changed at all. The goal is still to increase your knowledge of the 400 and the -8, which adds to enjoying your simulation experience. That's the whole purpose of me doing the course. This is different. We're introducing the FTD-PC FS on-demand training as opposed to the live stream. And the goal is still the same. There still are 3 levels of Patreon memberships, but they will be changing. One will be a Line First Officer, or LFO. The other will be a Line Cruise Captain, or LCC. And the other will be a Full Course Captain, or FCA. And these will be the 3 tiers that will be changing from the First Officer, from the Cruise Captain, and from the Full Captain. The Full Course Captain is what you all went through or are going through. And that includes the airline level flight training program, and of course the perks increase at the higher levels. This is no different. It's not technical computer assistance. It's not anything on models other than maybe out of interest on Discord, any kind of computer problems, but it is about training on the 400 and the -8. No difference really. No difference here. Again, you've probably all seen this in order to get to me. But we have the 3 categories of people that desire this type of training: flight simmers, aviation enthusiasts, or actual pilots. And flight simmers, aviation enthusiasts, and real-world pilots. No difference there. The training course, there's no change. There's a FTD. And of course we do it in the AeroLinks, primarily on the 747-400. And these are the kind of things that we went through in the course, as you're all familiar with. For the 747-400, FTD lessons 1 through 10, and for the -8, it would have been the differences 11 and 12, both briefings and flight. And then of course there were the bonus videos as well. No real difference here. The course will still be the same in the sense that it will be over a 6-month period, and there'll be 4 per month released. And that would be lessons, for example, 1 and 2. And that would be brief and flight over a monthly period, and then the bonus videos. And overall, it's a 6-month program unless you want to purchase the course up front. And that is a change. The FTD we do in the AeroLinks primarily. We can use anything, and then we use the PMDG for the -8. No difference here. The lesson briefings are, I think I modified the times a little bit because I probably went over more. So this is kind of the average times. Briefing 1.5 to 2 hours, and the FTD device in general is 2 to 2.5 hours. Some of them were less, some of them were more. Just depends on the lesson content and what had to be covered. But this is kind of a ballpark average of the briefing and the FTD device time. And then, of course, this just explains for the people that are interested in the course what the course is going to consist of. And again, I know you all know this. But again, this is different. The Line First Officer, the Line Cruise Captain, and the Full Course Captain will be the new categories of tiers in Patreon. The Full Course Captain is what you all just went through. So it's a 6-month period of training, or you may be going through it. Not everybody's finished with it. So it's nobody to date has completed the exam. We've had a couple of people take it, and still waiting on their results to complete. Remember, it has to be graded to 100%, but you get credit for the questions that you answered correctly. And at the completion of that, you get the certificate that you completed the course. But so far, nobody's completed it. And people are still going through the process, too. It's not... this is why I stretched out for 6 months, because not everybody's on the same timeline. And everybody has life and duties and work and other things that get in the way. So, the course is there when you want it. You don't necessarily have to remain a member of Discord or remain a Patreon member. You have the links, so you could always not do that. But hopefully we make it so that you want to continue on for a reasonable price. And that's the part of the tier reorganization that I have here. Part of the change here is that it is a 6-month period of training, but they have the option to purchase the entire course up front, and if they do, then they get a discount for that. However, the price of the course itself is going up, but that's not going to affect anybody in the program now that's grandfathered in. When I make this announcement, then anybody joining from that point on will be subject to the price increase of the full course captain. Again, no commitment other than monthly. If you go the monthly route, you can cancel at any time. And of course, if you get the full course, there's no refunds because you'd have all the links to the course content. And then as a result, there'd be no refunds if you purchase the entire course. Now, here's the difference. Now, the Line First Officer is designed for graduates of the FTD-PC FS training. And that could be anybody that's going through, not necessarily graduates. But it could be anybody that has gone through the course and has all the links for all the lessons, but they still want to remain in the Discord or in Patreon. And so generally the Line First Officer would have access to the on-demand, unlisted YouTube recording links. And again, you could have that anyway, even if you don't decide to stay with Patreon. And of course, the SSFT System Operational Control Discord chat room accesses would be one of the main benefits of staying on as a Line First Officer. That's kind of the bottom of the rung. The Line Cruise Captain is one step up, and again, that would be for ongoing Patreon members or people who have graduated. And again, all the digital course training materials and handouts would be available in Discord. I would plan to do some new unlisted, meaning they're not put out for free, line-oriented recorded videos, and I call them LOVs. And so these will be videos that are line-oriented in nature and designed to supplement basically what you went through during the training for the FTD-PC FS training. And then I'll do some shorter unlisted Did You Know system videos. These would be system videos, maybe not, certainly not as long as the bonus videos that I did, but they would be on a system, and they would be, call them snippets of systems information. And those would be shorter, so I could do actually more of those. And the SSFT Discord chat room access is still available. And I would do a minimum of 2 every 2 months. Probably it's going to be more than that, but that would be the minimum, 2 every 2 months. And that would be for a Line Cruise Captain. That would be somebody that wants to continue on in the with Patreon in the Discord room and also get some new content as well. And this is ongoing. You could also put your input in what you'd like to see, but this is what I'm thinking. And what I'm thinking is not necessarily the best. So some people can put input in if it's something you'd like to see differently. But that's what I envision is these line-oriented recorded videos, LOVs, and the shorter Did You Know system videos. And again, minimum 2 every 2 months, but probably more than that. Now the chat room, again, you're familiar with. You're familiar with the digital materials that I gave out. You're familiar with all this paperwork that I gave out and that you referenced every week. The map and the homework assignments, of course. Not too many people participated in the homework. Some gave it a try, and that's kind of good that you gave it a try. But I think a lot of you realize that it's a lot of work to put those things together, and it was for me too. To put videos together and then comment on them and then fly at the same time and do the homework, it's time consuming. And so some of you did it and then said, this probably isn't worth it. But you can always do it on your own, and it doesn't have to be. I thank all the people that did attempt it, and because you all did a good job at the attempts that you did. But it is hard to do it week in and week out and do it, do all the lessons. So that's something that I'll still offer it. It's optional. And if people want to do it, they can, and they can do as little or as much as they want, just like we said before. But I know that it's probably somewhat of a hassle to do it and put it out and record it and then put it on, YouTube unlisted and blah, blah, blah. So it'll still be there to do if people want to do it, because some may want to do it. The full course captain, again, this is no different. Only the times have been changed a little bit to reflect a greater time actually than was taken. Again, some are less and some are more than this, but it's the average. And then also this is different. The entire course can be purchased, but if you purchase the entire course, and this is not for you guys, but there'd be no refunds. And the course materials stay the same. That's the same. Flow patterns, you still get that. You get all this stuff. The bonus recorded videos are still there, the ones that I did on non-normal procedures or aircraft systems. This explains what it is. This would be for part of that live announcement that I make, so no different. Again, this is the course completion certificate, so if you get to the point where you want that completion certificate, you have to take that 10-question quiz. And that kind of forces you back into the material to look at it. I actually thought it was pretty easy, but that's me talking because obviously I'm rated on the airplane. But actually, I think you guys find it fairly difficult. So, but remember, whatever you get right, you get credit for, and then the rest if you can go look them up and resubmit them, and you get them all 10 out of 10 right, then you get the certificate. And that's kind of the completion standard. Since we didn't do the homework, or nobody really did the homework to completion, this is a way that I can still kind of test your retention of the material or your ability to study it and then get the certificate if you want the certificate. If you don't want the certificate, that's fine too. Again, I tried to make it, not a 25-question test, but a 10-question multiple choice, and some things that were applicable to the course and that we did in the course, and that way you could go back and review that if there was something that you weren't sure. Well, how did we actually do that? Then let me go back and review some of these videos, and that's a good thing anyway to do that if you have time. Again, time is a factor for everybody, so not everybody has the time to do this. But again, it's applicable whenever you want to do it, so it could be 6 months from now. I don't care. And then the full course captain, of course, what would you pay for this training? It turned out to be about 54 hours of edited content for the brief and for the flight, and then 8 hours of bonus content. That's what it ended up to be. And so that's a pretty good library. And actually it turned out to be more than that, but obviously I edited it. And I still have some more editing to do. And I need to go through the course. I've been starting to go through it and see where it can, improve. I don't want to redo the whole thing, obviously. The ones that were really obvious, I did redo. But I'm not going to reinvent the wheel here. It's just certain things will be edited, but most of the content will remain the same. So here's what I raised it to. I did think it was underpriced to begin with. We did it at $10 per month, and that was pretty much a bargain for people that came in. So $60 for a full, complete course like this that does add to your knowledge is not that expensive. And so I figured $20 per month is still kind of a bargain at $120 total for the course. And that's for people who are serious about it and want to do it. But that's what it'll be going forward. And maybe I get a few people, maybe I don't. But that's what I priced it at. Again, that's the monthly. If they go month to month, that's what it'll be, is $20. But you can purchase the entire course, and if you purchase the entire course, it would be instead of $120, it'd be $105 if you purchase the entire thing right up front. So And that shows right here. Price is $105. No refunds of purchasing the entire course. Doesn't really apply to you guys or people that are in the course currently. So the price is not going to be raised. I'll say that again. The price is not going to be raised on people who are in the course at this time or prior to the announcement of this. I just had one person join. They're going to be charged at $10 a month, not this price. This only occurs after I make this announcement publicly, and then I'll revise the tiers to this. This just explains what the course is. Again, this is the full captain course. And then here's the pricing for the line first officer. If people want to remain in the Patreon or the Discord, then for the line first officer it'll be $3 a month. For the line cruise captain, it's $5 per month. And so if you remain, again, you get that content that will be added from time to time. And again, two videos per every 2 months is the minimum. But, we'll see how it goes. And then obviously I can make other shorter videos. And then, of course, the full course captain, $20 per month. So the line cruise captain, the line first officer, is kind of a retention thing. If people want to stay on, they can for that. And that's, again, a pretty reasonable price, $5, 12 months, $60, and you get some additional content. The entire course one-time purchase is $105. You can save $15 by doing that. New members that come on. When this is announced with the live stream, then the tiers will be revised, and then I'll have to decide how to deal with the fact that some people will be in the program already, and then they'll, because you'll have to rejoin the tiers basically. And I expect most people that want to stay on will probably go to the line cruise captain, because the line first officer, we had no first officers or cruise captains for the initial course. They were all full course captains. They were all at the $10 per month because it was a reasonable price and it was a no-brainer to go full captain. Here I expect that if anybody wants to stay on, they'll go the line cruise captain route to get the additional content. So I expect probably no line first officers, even though I put it in there. And that's the cheapest one, obviously. And then for $2 more a month, you'd get the line cruise captain, which would have the additional content and the access to Discord, so that you can interact with each other and ask me questions. Or if you want the entire course, they could purchase via PayPal. And they could do that, and then if they want the Discord, they'd still get all the materials and everything. I'd send them all the materials, but if they want Discord, then they could join the line cruise captain at $5 per month if they really wanted to interact or get that. But they'll get all the materials and things like that. They just won't have access to the Discord unless they join the Discord. And that's about it. If there's any additional questions, just put them in Discord. And I can clarify, because it's not completely solidified in my mind how I'm going to do this exactly. But the bottom line is that anybody that does come into the tier at $5 a month, let's say, the line cruise captain, and they're in the program and they're not through with the program yet, or they just started the program, then they would obviously owe another $5 for the $10 a month. And I'll have to figure out how to do that. My thought is that the line cruise captain are people like you guys that could stay on. If you don't want to stay on, that's fine. A lot of people will just say, well, that's good enough. I got the training, and I have the links to the videos, and I have the downloaded material, and that's all I need. But if you want to stay on, some people like the interaction. Some people like to ask questions. Some people will like the additional content. So if you want to stay on, that's a vehicle, line cruise captain, in order to do that. So anyhow, that's it. Anything's not clear, just give me a question in Discord. And thank you all again for attending the full course. No graduates yet as far as certification goes, or certificate goes. There's no certification really, it's just a certificate of completion. But I appreciate everybody that went through the course, and I know that some of you got a lot out of it, and that's good. And I hope you all enjoyed it. Again, any testimonials you want to give, give them to me because I'll use them as part of the promotion of this course going forward. I would appreciate any thoughts that any of you have on the course, good or bad. Again, we appreciate you being part of the course. Captain Al, out.